can you share what the average dollar strength and average equity indice drawdowns in quad 4 historically? Effectively asking whether you think it's time to take the opposite side now, given the capitulation over the last 2 weeks.
Well, I wouldn't. Anytime you start with averages, you're like, what is the average of a bunch of things that have never happened in kind before? Just because you feel better because you have an answer, right? A lot of brokers look for that.
Love averages.
Like Bespoke, they provide everybody with these statistics. Well, this happened this time, and that happened that time. I'm just talking about what's happening this time. This time I could tell you unequivocally that if you weren't prepared for it, the dollar in the last month is up, in the last month alone, is up 2.3%. And you can look at the monthly returns across everything in macro. And that, historically, would have not been predicted, other than by us. Totally. So why would you use the people that would give you a historical representation of flips from 9 consecutive quarters in a row? We have that chart, Josephine, of GDP growth. That's never happened before. So if you go from something that's never happened before, 9 quarters in a row of quad 1 or 2 to quad 4 quickly, dollar up, everything else down a lot. So why would I use the historical? Like, we can get you that answer, but it's not going to be helpful. That's not what I'm worried about this morning. It's definitely not what I'm worried about this morning. So again, I hope you can embrace and understand, if that's not the way you look at the world, that's the way I look at the world. If I were to say, well, today would probably be a good day because on average, somebody told me that this happens and that happens. And it's all the people that actually didn't tell me any of this was going to happen at all.
Totally. I mean, I had a really thoughtful call with some investors on Friday, and we were kind of going through this. It was like, okay, well, talk to me about this time we flipped from quad 4 to quad 2, and I'm like, well, that's only happened like twice in the last 30-something years. So like, you really want to anchor on those particular 2 instances. I think you can sort of model your way out of any sort of alpha if you really try to isolate.
Because a lot of people start with what they want to see as an outcome, and then they try to back into it.
Totally, absolutely, absolutely. That was the nature of the discussion.
But the whole nature of what we've done here, creatively, luckily, however you want to describe it, beautifully, however, is that we deal with what we have today. We trade and risk manage the market that we have this morning. We don't go there and do that like the way that the old wall has subscribed or at least promoted that you do. So again, every day, God willing, 2 feet on the floor, update the GIP models. Where's the data going? In quad 4, we're not getting out of those shorts. I mean, we're going to short more on bounces. We're going to tactically risk manage around it. We would never start with some historical average. It's just not how we do it. We've never done it that way, and we're not going to change that today.